Hi, and welcome to ManGow. I'm Stephen, and I'm from the UK.
I'm Vin from the Philippines.
We aim to bring these two countries closer together with our topical chat.
Hope you enjoy the show.
Thanks for joining us once again for our topical discussions relating to the UK and the Philippines. In this episode, we are going to talk about travel. There's about 6,600 miles, that's 10,500 kilometres roughly, distance separating those two countries. So there's only one realistic way to travel between them, and that is by air. To my knowledge, there is only one direct flight available, and that is Philippine Airlines from Manila to London Heathrow. Vin has travelled on that one. Do you have anything to say on that, Vin?
Yeah, sure. It actually takes about 15 hours for that, and there are like regular flights anyway from London to the Philippines and vice versa. And Philippine Airlines offer similar benefits like the other big airlines like KLM and Emirates, such as meals, entertainment systems, and the pricing are quite similar too.
I remember you were delayed on that flight and missed your connection to Glasgow.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily, I was put into the second flight available, and it's quite weird because most of the passengers are actually like businessmen and
Yeah,
women.
it was a business shuttle from Glasgow to London.
Yeah, so I was actually thankful didn't stay like overnight and wait for the flight available.
So we travel with Emirates usually, and that involves a stopover in Dubai. Incidentally, Dubai Airport, in case you haven't been there, is absolutely huge. If you don't have enough connection time between flights, you can get caught out. I personally wouldn't be happy with anything less than a 1 hour connection period.
I'd like to point out for parents with young children that has a small play area, and they also provide buggies or strollers for free. This is particularly helpful since if you're taking your pram or a stroller, it will most likely be sent straight to your destination from your departure airport. So that could be worth keeping in mind. And also, another thing is when traveling with kids, you are guaranteed to be seated together and you don't need to choose your own seats in advance and pay extra for that.
Good points, Vin. The flight duration with Emirates is usually between 18 to 22 hours. KLM is another option, and that can involve 2 stops, or even more, like say Amsterdam and Hong Kong.
It's a long flight, isn't it? So try and choose the shortest if you can, especially if you're traveling with children.
So that's getting between them. What about travelling within each one? Here in the UK, many of the major cities are connected by motorway, expressway or highway to Filipinos, and we also have an extensive rail network. You can pretty much plan your journey to the minute here. On the roads you will usually do 50 to 60 kilometres an hour on average or better for your given journey. Really, it is only major roadworks, accidents or heavy snow you have to worry about.
Yeah, well, in the Philippines, heavy rain and flooding can bring things to halt. That's quite frustrating. We don't have the motorways that you have here, but as we mentioned in episode 1, the Build project that is ongoing there is addressing our transportation shortcomings. And at the moment, our roads are very congested and delays are the norm. And if we can get anything close to the UK rail system, then that would be a game changer there. Definitely.
Let's hope the projects progress at a good pace. Just to put some perspective on it, if I can, London to Edinburgh is 530 kilometres apart by rail, and it takes about 5 to 5.5 hours. Manila to Cebu is a similar distance, about 575 kilometres, and with just a quick search online, I saw figures between 8 and as much as 22 hours to travel between them.
I have to point out that we have never traveled that journey, so we can't speak with any certainty on it. However, if anyone who's listening has traveled that route, we would like to hear from you. Please feel free to comment or give us some feedback. That also goes for all our listeners. We would love to hear from you on anything.
We were last in the Philippines in February and March of 2020, and we travelled from Manila to Samar. First by flying out of Manila to Tacloban City. 1.5 hour flight, 475 kilometres distance. We then went by road to Gandara, about 3 hours and 150 kilometres. So the road trip was about a third of the distance of the air trip, but took twice as long despite having no delays. Finn, you have travelled that journey many times by road, the whole way.
Yes, I have. It's bus, then ferry, and then bus again. The duration is around 20 hours or so if you time the ferry correctly. If you miss the ferry, you can wait up to 5.5 hours for the next one at certain times of the day. And the ferry is also dependent on good weather prevailing. A typhoon, for instance, may force it out of service. The road trip nowadays is usually trouble-free and quite comfortable on the bus.
We also took a day trip to Aleco Falls while we were in Gandara, Samar.
Yeah, and for that journey, we rented a multicab like a small jeepney and with others traveling on motorbikes, which is a popular way to get around.
And talking about rough roads, anyone listening in the UK, I can say that even a Land Rover would be tested on the road to Aleco Falls.
It's a shame, isn't it? I think they are doing some road works at the moment. And by the way, regarding motorbikes, I think this mode of transportation is actually popular for delivery services in the Philippines and also for commuting passengers.
Like a taxi.
Yeah, we call that angkas. So another form of transportation, which is like a motorbike, but this time, or this one, is actually has a sidecar. So we call that tricycle. So this is actually very helpful if you're like traveling in a very short distance, especially when it's hot or raining or you have a lot to carry with you. So taking a tricycle is very, very convenient.
Except that your backside is trailing along the ground almost. The seating is so low down that your bum is almost on the ground. And not only that, when you pull up at traffic, you're level with the exhaust of other vehicles.
Yeah, that's the downside there. But I think this tricycle is maybe designed for the Filipino size. So I think that's okay with the Filipino.
I try to avoid those things when I can.
Yeah, but if you're actually used to it and if you really need one, you can't really resist to get a tricycle. You can't walk on a very, very hot road, so you don't have any option but to take a tricycle.
So your choices are, you get, well, now you can get a taxi service, as you said, with just a motorbike. So you're sitting on as a pillion driver on a motorbike, or you can get a tricycle, or you can get a jeepney, or a bus. And other than that, it's private cars and vans.
Yeah, which is like a Grab, which is an Uber-like kind of service here.
Yeah, just like a normal taxi, private taxi here.
Can...
Yeah, Grab.
Yeah, Grab.
Yeah, they're a lifesaver. If you're not using Grab, you're generally at the mercy of those taxis that drive around, follow you around the streets, white taxis.
Yeah, and you know
they want to double the fare and just because you're a foreigner and things like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, that's a shame again.
Yeah, so Grab tell you what the fare's going to be before they even arrive, so they can't do anything about that. They have to charge you that.
And what's good with this Grab, because on their app, it can tell you where actually the best way to take, so you will be away from the traffic or
Yeah.
from the busy road.
They used their sat nav to check the traffic conditions and all that.
Yeah, so that's very, very convenient for passengers.
On that same holiday this year, we also took a road trip to Batangas from Manila.
Yes, that took us about 5 hours one way.
Do you remember the name of the holiday resort we went to?
I think it's Alabiga.
Alabiga. That's
Somewhere,
right.
yeah.
That's right, Alabiga. The road trip, as I remember, wasn't that bad getting to the Batangas area. It's the journey from there up to the resort was quite poor roads, and the driver had to slow right down almost to a stop to get past some rough parts of the road.
Yeah, I think they're still developing that part and building some more resorts.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of resorts up there.
And this time, actually, we rented a van. So that's actually like an exclusive transportation for us.
Yeah, it's better when we rent. We haven't hired a car yet to go anywhere that I don't feel comfortable with driving in the Philippines yet.
Yeah.
I prefer to leave that to the Filipinos with the local knowledge and experience. I think it would be very stressful for me to get to grips with the standards of driving and the little differences and nuances that exist there. Maybe someday I'll pluck up the courage and do it. Yeah, and really the only things that were holding us up are roadworks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was some roadworks in certain areas.
Yeah.
Uh,
Though the beach is not actually as beautiful as we expect, however, the pool is very nice. They have two big pools, and most of us actually enjoyed it. And
yeah, it was a good day. Couple of
Yeah.
days we spent there.
they
And-
can cook meals for you as well, but you can actually cook for yourselves. They have kitchen.
Yeah, the food was okay. Yeah, I enjoyed the food.
And one more downside as well is we can get a signal, phone signal and internet signal as well for Globe.
Yeah, well, I didn't even try.
I
don't
think it's
I think
only
I was.
smart.
I think I was too busy swimming and playing.
Yeah, still
playing with
developing
kids.
the area, but it's quite beautiful resort. And also we have the resort with ourselves. We're the only guests at that time because it's not
Yeah.
busy yet.
Yeah, we
It's
had
February.
two pools to ourselves.
Yeah, and I think we are also thankful because that happens before the lockdown, so we have all that time.
Actually, we were very lucky to time our holiday just right this year,
Yeah.
in between the Taal volcano erupting and the lockdown.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I think, or kinda, I'm waiting for the Philippine immigration to announce if there are flights that will be
Cancelled.
cancelled, yeah. But thankfully,
Yeah, we were very lucky. Very lucky indeed.
yeah. And then, like, after a day or two, after we came back from our holiday, the next case of COVID-19 in the Philippines was reported.
And lockdown followed shortly after we got home.
Yes, like after a week.
Despite what I feel in that travelling in the UK is more efficient, more comfortable, quicker and less stressful, I actually still like to travel around the Philippines. The scenery is different. It's more like an adventure for me. And just about every day is a beautiful day, and that helps a lot.
If you're thinking of starting your own podcast and you're not sure where to begin, or if you want to try a different host, we would suggest giving Buzzsprout a try. They do all the heavy liftings if that's what you need, and they are with you every step of the way. You can get the first 90 days for free, and if you click the link below, and if you eventually sign up for a paid membership, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card.
We have come to the end of the show.
If you've enjoyed it, please come again for our next episode. Thank you for listening.